What's going on, guys? It's Moto here, and today I'm bringing you the all-new series, Top Tuesdays. Now, each Tuesday I'm going to be bringing a new top 10 kind of thing, top 10, top 5, depends on what it is. Today's going to be a top 10, and what better way to start than my top 10 favorite Pokemon of all time. Now, before we get started, just a reminder, leave a like, comment, positive, negative. Just let me know what you guys want me to do next. Make sure that you also tell me what the next top 10 or top 5 should be. Remember, this is going to be a weekly series, so every week tell me what the next top 10 is going to be. Or top 5, either or. But, either way, also, shoutouts to my good friend Chaos Otter for this awesome layout. Lake Shack City's in the background, so let's get right into it. This might be a little bit kinda weird, the first episode, because I'm not really sure what I'm doing very well, but either way, the first, number 10, is none other than Trevenant. Now, when I first saw Trevenant, I was like, okay, holy crap, that's awesome Pokemon. It's a ghost, it's a tree. Looks awesome. And when I read the lore of it, it got even cooler because the lore was just so cool. It was like, it protects the forest. You should probably get all these up. So I'm gonna get all of the Pokédex descriptions of them up. Trevenant. Let's just quickly get it up. But it's such a cool mon. The design is so crisp. It just looks so nice. Its shiny's beautiful. Yeah. It can this is Omega Ruby, or it controls trees at will. It will trap people who harm the forest so they can never leave. That's creepy as hell. And Alpha Sapphire, using its roots as a nervous system, it controls the trees in the forests. It's kind of the Pokemon that reside in its bodies. That's so cool! Like, holy crap, that's awesome! Like, it's just such a well-designed mon. Its lore is creepy. Phantump is pretty weird. Like, it's basically dead kids. That's Phantump. Phantump is awesome shiny, too. But it has one of my favorite shinies, but we'll get that in top 10 favorite shinies. Who knows, maybe it'll even be there, but either way, move right on. And after each of them, I'm going to scale them down and move them to the side. We'll move them to the top, we'll say. Like that place for them. Either way, next up, we got the one and only Volcarona. Now, when I first saw it in Gen 5, I was like, it's pretty cool looking. It looks like Mothra from the Godzilla series. And Mothra was always pretty awesome, because giant moth. But when I saw Alder use it, usually champions use the what's it called from each region, the pseudo legendary. But Alder, this guy was using a Volcarona, and it was awesome. Now Volcarona is just such an amazing mon. Competitively, its design is nice. Its shiny's pretty damn awesome too. Just quickly get up its Pokédex entry, because I'm not really sure what it is actually. Pokédex entry. This is from Alpha Sapphire, or we'll start with Omega Ruby. A sea of fire engulfs the surroundings of their battles since they use their 6 wings to scatter their ember scales. Alpha Sapphire says when volcanic ash darkens the atmosphere, it's said that Volcarona's fire provides a replacement for the sun. That's pretty damn bright, if you ask me. Like, if it can replace the entire sun, it's something to laugh at. Like, its shiny is really nice also. It's just an amazing mon, and that's why it gets my number 9 spot. So, let's move him over now. Joining him. Also, his typing, while it's not the greatest, is weak to rocks. Still great. But next up, we have... get him up. Electros. Now, this is going to be a weird pick because Electros is kind of forgotten a lot of times. But I used him in the AABL. He slowly crept his way into my heart. He put in so much work. Plus, he's an electric type that has Levitate, so already it's pretty awesome. No weaknesses unless you have Mold Breakermon. And he's can be very, very bulky, both physically, defensive. He can be a special attacker, a physical attacker. Put him in a trick room, he sweeps. Slap an Assault Vest, choice band, choice specs. There's no preparing for an Electros, because it can be run specially, physically. Especially defensive, physically defensive. There is nothing that you can do to prepare for an Electros, because you don't know what it's gonna do. Plus, it's shiny, as I keep saying, is pretty awesome. It's really creepy. This is Omega Ruby. With their sucker mouth, they suck in prey. Then they use their fangs to shock the prey with electricity. That's already pretty creepy. Then Alpha Sapphire, they crawl out of the ocean using their arms. They will attack prey on shore and immediately drag it to the ocean. That's creepy as hell. I love it. That's why it's number 8. Put him up there. Next up, we got my favorite starter, Sceptile. Mr. J. Roberto himself. Thanks. Shout out to Jimmy. He's a good friend of mine. But, yeah, we got Sceptile. There's not much to say about him other than he's such a well-designed Pokemon, in my opinion. He's shiny. I prefer him regular, to be honest. I love the red, the green. But his shiny's still pretty nice. His Mega is awesome. I just wish it wasn't so weak to Ice. But what are you gonna do? That's Dragon type for you. They're always weak to Ice. But still, just his design is amazing. Okay, in the anime, this is one of the other reasons I love him so much. In the anime, back in 3rd gen anime, Ash had a Sceptile, and it was the chillest guy ever. It was just so cool. I used to love that. I was like, that's awesome. I want a Sceptile. And when I played Sapphire in the originals, I picked a Sceptile. I picked Trico, and then same when I got, what's it called? Omega Ruby. Or Alpha Sapphire. But this is what it says, it's Pokedex. Sceptile has seeds growing on its backs. They are said to be bursting with nutrients that revitalize its trees. This Pokemon raises the trees in the forest with loving care. So not only is it a badass, it's caring too. But either way, let's just shrink him. Move him up. Next up, we got the powerhouse. That is Crocodile. Now, if you know me, you saw this one coming a mile away. I love Crocodile. I prefer him defensive when I play competitive, but throw a Scarf Moxie, it sweeps a team. Just ask Mr. Galactic Elliot himself. It sweeps, and you can really not prepare well if you don't have a hard counter, like a really good bulky water type. This thing sweeps. You cannot stop a good Crocodile. Plus, one thing I don't like about it is it's shiny. Its shiny's terrible, in my opinion. But this is Mr. Steve Irwin. He's awesome. He's just such a good designed mon, in my opinion. And his Pokedex is the Intimidation Pokemon. If that's not scary, I don't know what is. But his Pokedex entries. Let's see, where is it? Very violent Pokemon. They try to clamp down on anything that moves in front of their eyes. And they never allow their prey to escape. Their jaws are so powerful it can crush the body of an automobile. That's how strong it is. It can crush an automobile with just its jaws. I couldn't think of the word for a second. It's a really solid mod. 92 speed. That's pretty good. It outspeeds a lot of things. So that's why Crocodile's right up there. And that is number 6. Now we're getting in to the top 5 now. And my 5th favorite Pokemon is Jolteon. Now, Jolteon, it was my first evolution that I got. And it was amazing. It put in so much work in Fire Red. And now in 6th Gen, it's easily my favorite evolution still, as you can tell, obviously. But it's such a good mon. It gets Volt Switch, Thunderbolt. I wish it got a little bit more coverage. Because, what? Volt Switch, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, Signal Beam, Hidden Power. You could be that guy and run Thunder Wave on it, Heal Bell. There's a lot of different sets, but Choice Specs or Life Orb is usually the set. But Jolteon is just an amazing mon. I'm gonna move him up here while I get up his Jolteon, his Pokedex description. Plus its design, it's just an amazing looking design too. I wish its shiny was a little bit better, but can't have everything. But this is Oras. Jolteon cells generate a low level of electricity. This power is amplified by the static electricity of its fur, enabling the Pokemon to drop thunderbolts. The bristling fur is made of electrically charged needles. So, you could be that guy to run Pin Missile for all I care. It's an awesome mon. Now, we're getting in top 4 category. And now, the 5th, or English is tough for me right now. So, this one might be a little bit controversial because it's a legendary. This is the only legendary that makes the list, and that is Articuno. I know it's not the best competitively, it's pretty trash. It's very bulky though, I'll give it that. It's extremely bulky. With, let's see, 125 special defense. It's pretty good, but either way, it's its design looks a little pudgy, but I love the design of it. How the one just flowing long tail, the color of it. I do like it shiny because the color makes it look almost more ice-like. Like it actually looks like it's made of ice. But this is its Pokedex description. Articuno is a legendary bird Pokemon that can control ice. The flapping of its wings chills the air. As a result, it is said that when this Pokemon flies, snow will fall. It's pretty awesome if you ask me, not gonna lie. It's has the ability to control all things ice. It can hit you with a blizzard, it can freeze dry to make your water types non-existent. What's a water type to an Articuno? That is what I want to know. But now we are reaching the end of our journey. And myself, I am the coach of the Connecticut Conkelders. So my 3rd favorite Pokemon is Conkeldurr. Now, I know he's pretty damn ugly if you ask me, but he doesn't need to look pretty, because he's a powerhouse. That attack of 140, the bulk that he has, slap an Assault Vest on it, Drain Punch, it will not die. It's impressive HP stat of 105. Defense is 95, so it can be very bulky. Special defense 65, could be better, but with an Assault Vest, and if you throw it in HP, it'll be very bulky. Speed 45, you don't need speed. Unless you want to be that guy and run Scarfed. I'm gonna do that someday. Let's see. its Pokedex description is as follows. In Omega Ruby, it is thought that Conkeldurr taught humans how to make concrete more than 2,000 years ago. I never actually knew that, wow. In Alpha Sapphire, rather than rely on force, they master moves that utilize the centrifugal force of spinning concrete. So, Conkeldurr is just an awesome mon. It uses concrete. It's so strong. It's bulky. It has everything you need for a good mon. Its shiny's pretty decent. It's not horrible, I'll give it that. I like shiny Conkeldurr. Shiny or non-shiny, doesn't matter. That is Connecticut the Conkeldurr. And, top 2. These guys have grown on me for years. Most of you already know that it is the powerhouse Aggron himself. Now, Aggron, there's a story behind this. When I was little, I was given a card from my cousin, a Pokemon card. It was one of my first ever Pokemon cards that was an EX. It was my first ever EX. And that was Mega, or not Mega, wow. That was Aggron EX. Let me pull up a picture of Aggron EX. Aggron EX card. Not the new one, obviously. There it is. Okay, I got a picture of it right here. Let me just pull it up on screen. Wrong one. But either way, when I was little, I had this card. And I kept trying for so long to make a deck with it. And I didn't really know how to play Pokemon at the time, because I was pretty young. But either way, I finally, recently, found out how to make Pokemon decks. So, I did it. It's a Steel type. It's a Steel type deck. And I have the new Aggron EX, and a Mega Aggron EX too. So, I use those. That's my deck. It's a Steel type that focuses around Mega Aggron using it, and it is so good competitively. Like, I run it. Maybe I'll here, but anyway, here's the picture. This is the card that she gave me. I still have that card to this day. I'll pull it out sometime. Maybe I'll do a top 10 favorite Pokemon cards. Hint, hint. But yeah, that's Aggron is just, it has a special place in my heart. And it's just such an awesome mon. Its Mega is my favorite Mega evolution. I like, as most of you guys know, I love running Mega Aggron as a rock polish set. But this is its Pokedex entry. Aggron claims an entire mountain as its own territory. It mercilessly beats up. Sorry, I can't spell things and stuff. Or I can't speak well. Beats up anything that violates its environment. This Pokemon vigilantly patrols its territory at all times. And then Aggron is protective of its environment. If its mountain is ravaged by landslide or fire, this Pokemon will haul topsoil to the area, plant trees, and beautifully restore its own territory. That's pretty awesome if you ask me. But also, I love its shiny. That nice looking, like, blue chrome look is just so cool looking in my opinion. I know people prefer the original because it looks more steel, but honestly, I kind of prefer the shiny, not gonna lie. But, yeah, that's number 2. Move him down. Now, I'm sure most of you will know what my number 1 favorite Pokemon is. But before that, let's do a couple honorable mentions. So, there are, what is it, 722 Pokemon to choose from. So how can I just pick 10 Pokemon that I like? Well, it's very hard. But some that I like that didn't quite make the list were Mamoswine. That's probably number 11 would be Mamo. I love Mamoswine so much. It's such a nice mon. Let's see, what else? I'm just thinking of mons that I like now. Arbok. Arbok is an underrated mon in my opinion. Very good, low tier for what it does, but there's just a bunch of Pokemon. I can't even think of all of them now. There's so many Pokemon that I just love using that are pretty good in my opinion. But either way, this is the moment of truth. None other than Alakazam. Ever since Gen 2, I got in Generation 2 Gold, I got a shiny Abra. Now, I had no clue what a shiny even was back then. All I saw was it had little sparkles, and I was like, ooh, pretty, I want it. So I caught it, trained it up to a Kadabra, found someone to trade with, traded it, got it in Alakazam. And that was post-game, by the way. After I beat the entire game, I got an Alakazam. And basically, ever since then, I've always loved Alakazam. Its design, so nice. It's mega, pretty good. It's shiny, in my opinion, is very nice. I love the little, like, pink, purple kind of thing. It's mega design. Fantastic. Mega shiny is beautiful. It's got this, like, deep royal purplish. Very nice. But, yeah. And its moveset, so good. But, either way, its Pokedex reads, Alakazam's brain continually grows, making its head far too heavy to support with its neck. This Pokemon holds its head up using its psychokinetic powers instead, so that must be hell. But Alakazam's brain continuously grows, infinitely multiplying brain cells. This amazing brain gives this Pokemon an astonishingly high IQ of 5,000. It has a thorough memory of everything that has occurred in the world. Sorry, I cannot read. And I do like its black and white entries. The spoons clutched in its hands are said to have been created by its psychic powers. But that is the first ever Top 10. Top Tuesdays. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, let me know what top you want next. I have some ideas, but let me know what you guys want. If no one comments, someone comment. Just comment. Anyway, that's going to wrap up this episode. Make sure to follow me on Twitter also and Twitch. But that's going to wrap this episode. This is Moto, signing off.